ठीक है फिर. So let's start now. So have you recalled the session of bio classes? Yes or not? At home, we have to recall your session. Chalo. So within 2 to 5 minutes, we have to recall back session, and later on we have to discuss, है ना, with next topic now. So in back session, we study about nanotechnology and some important concept I have to mention in nanotechnology. Nanotechnology. Nano, it means 10 to the power minus 9 meter, which is 1 billion part of 1 meter. Is it clear now? And we have to also study that the term nanotechnology that was given by Norio Taniguchi, and in 1974 we have to mention now. But when question are framed that who introduced the concept of nanotechnology, so we know about the concept of nanotechnology that was introduced by Richard Feynman in 1959. In his talk, in his lecture, he says that there's plenty of rooms at the bottom. He talked about keeping the world at the tip of needle. So that's why he considered as father of nanotechnology worldwide. I have to say that worldwide. Next, we study about father of Indian nanotechnology. So C.N.R. Rao, Chintamani Nagesha Ramchandra Rao. He is known for his work, contribution remarkable. We know about work like solid-state chemistry, material science. I have to say that, in carbon nanotube, in organic nanoscales, they have work in remarkable work. I have to say that C.N.R. Rao. And later on, we have to discuss about some milestones who play a vital role in development of nanotechnology. Some milestones, like we know microscope, the two microscope that's play a vital role in nanotechnology development. First is STM and second is AFM. एक हमारा scanning tunneling microscope and second one is atomic force microscope. The STM, that's a tool that's allowed to scientists see individual atom and manipulate them at nano scale with the help of STM. And we know about with the help of atomic force microscope, we have to examine, the internal structure of cancer cell, also make a 3D dimensional image with the help of atomic force microscope. So two microscope, we have to learn their name. Next, we say that establishment of National Nanotechnology Initiative by United States government in 2000. That's main aim to provide funding and also resources research in field of nanotechnology. Its main achievement, that's play milestone in nanotechnic field. Later on, we have to study about development of nano fabricating materials, development of self-molecular assembly, development of nanomedicines, which can interact within cell and tissues, development of nanoelectronics to improve your display technique. We know smartphones, computers, I have to say that, flexible electronics, by this we have to create. So it's all about milestones of nanotechnology. क्वेश्चन फ्रेम हो सकते हैं लाइक आपके एग्जाम में, यदि पूछता है हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड से, है ना, who play a new dimension in field of nanotech, so we have to mention that point. We have to learn only, we know quotation. And next day we study about allotropes of carbon. But we know nanoscale, it means 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 10 to the power 7 meter to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. It means 100 nanometer to 1 nanometer. And when we study about substance in that structure, we have to find out unusual property, extraordinary property, novel property, I have to say that, unwanted, unknown property in that substance. So nanoscale is the science in which we study about the structure of substance between 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. And we know about the use of nano structures that are useful for human beings, and that is known as nanotechnology. Every concept of science, their application, that's known as behavior science, science and tech, I have to say that. So it's all about discovery of nanotech and history of nanotechnology. And later on we have to study about allotropes of carbon. Allotropes of carbon, and I have to mention now some allotropes of carbon like graphene, like carbon nanotube, Buckminster fullerene, diamond and graphite. And we study about graphene point. Is it clear now? So it is good that every concept, every term we have to learn. So it is good for you. Now next point right now, graphene. Some point we have to also mention in graphene. Anna, it is one atom thick layer. It is one atom thick layer, and it is a two-dimensional network of carbon atom, I have to say, concerning graphene, and in which carbon atoms are linked by hexagonal lattice arrangement. है ना, हमने पिक्चर भी देखा था इसका as like concerning graphene को लेकर के. Now next point we have to mention now. We have to also know it is the thinnest and strongest materials of the world at that time, graphene. Right now, properties of graphene. Properties of graphene. So say something about properties. Properties of graphene. Right now it is optically transparent. First point concerning graphene. It is optically transparent. It is optically transparent and hydrophobic in nature. It is optically transparent and hydrophobic in nature. And hydrophobic in nature, it means water repelling, yeah, repelling of water. It means repelling of water. So optically we have to say that it is transparent. It is optically transparent and hydrophobic in nature. That's why we know about graphene also used in automobile component for anti-rusting purpose. For anti-rusting purpose, because it's decay the oxidation rate which occurs in rusting. Next point we have to write now. लिखना, the carbon atoms has unique chemical reactivity. The carbon atoms has unique chemical reactivity at the graphene sheet S, at the graphene sheet S, at the graphene sheet S. Next point, third point right now. Graphene has highly heat resistant. Graphene has high heat resistant up to 350 degrees Celsius. Up to 350 degrees Celsius. So it is also be a high resistant concerning heat. We know up to 350 degrees Celsius they have to retain heat. Optically transparent है, and we know hydrophobic nature. Hydrophobic nature भी है. Right now electronic properties, yeah, we say about electrical properties of graphene. Next point, electrical properties of graphene. It's important. Electrical properties of graphene. Right now, graphene has good conductor of electricity. Graphene has good conductor of electricity. Graphene has good conductor of electricity. Electrons can move. Electrons can move is an easier manner in graphene than that of copper. Easier manner in graphene than that of copper. We know about metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Highest metal which conduct high electricity, what is the name of that metal? Silver. That's name is silver. After silver we say about copper, and upper lowest is lead. Lowest is lead. So we know about graphene, that's considered non-metal, but electrons can move faster, 60% greater than that of copper. Matlab, it means we have to say that the efficiency of movement of electron in graphene 60% greater than copper. Point to be also noted now. The efficiency of movement of electron in graphene, the efficiency of movement of electron in graphene 60% greater than that of copper. 60% greater than that of copper. Clear point? It's all about graphene electrical properties. Next point right now, mechanical properties of graphene. Next point, mechanical properties of graphene. Is it clear now? Because so many points we have to learn in graphene, because without graphene, without carbon nanotube, fullerene we know about, nanoscience, nanotechnology is nothing. है ना? So we have to learn their name, their features, their application also. Their application also, because we know about India's first innovation center of graphene, that's are established in Kerala. Kerala is said to be, we know, hub of, graphene at present time. So it's all about, we know about properties, electrical properties, mechanical properties, thermal properties, and also its application. Their structures also be framed as a question. I have to say that. So what concerning graphene and copper? So we say about the efficiency of movement of electron is much more in graphene as compared to copper. 60% greater, I have to say. Next point, mechanical properties. Likhna, graphene is hardest than metal, hardest than diamond. Graphene is hardest than diamond. Graphene is hardest than diamond and 300 times strongest. 300 times strongest than steel. 300 times strongest than steel. Then steel. That's steel. Then steel. So we have to mention an important point, inverted comma of that line. That's it is 300 times strongest than steel. It's important. Hardest than diamond, because it's the thinnest material of the world we know about. But that's are stronger 300 times than steel. It's also be a unique property because its structure between 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power 9 meter structure we have to adopt now. So that's why they have to make a new property, abnormal property, unusual property inside the graphene. Next point we have to mention now. Thermal point clear हो गया ना? Mechanical property we have to clear now. Mechanical लिख लिया आपने, फर्स्ट लिखा है ना आपने. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखिएगा, इट इज ऑप्टिकल प्रॉपर्टी. इट हैज कर लेना, इट हैज ऑप्टिकल प्रॉपर्टी. दैट्स वाई it is also used in flexible electronics. It is also used in flexible electronics. Like LCD, like we say LED, like we say OLED, organic lead emitting diode, organic light emitting diode, that is the full name of OLED, and curve TV, write the full name of organic light emitting diode. It's a full name of OLED, organic light emitting diode. LCD, LED, curve TV, that's are too much flexible because of graphene. So it's all about properties of mechanical properties. Now next point right now, thermal properties of graphene. Thermal properties. Right now, graphene is a good thermal conductor. Graphene is a good thermal conductor. Good thermal conductor. Point to be noted, that's an important line. Graphene based chip, graphene based chip produce less heat in transistor. Graphene based chip produce less heat in transistor because we know about it's a good thermal conductor, है ना? So question now, it is also used in as a like chip in transistor that's produce less heat. It's all about properties of thermal. So lot of property we have to mention concerning graphene, like electronic properties, like thermal properties, like mechanical properties, and overall properties we have to say that. Right now, application of graphene. Next, application of graphene. It's important, make them most important. Application of graphene. Application of graphene. Application of graphene. First point, due to hydrophobic nature, it can due to hydrophobic nature, it can prevent and delay the oxidation rate oxidation rate that occurs in rusting. Oxidation rate that occurs in rusting. Because we know about rusting, the two main chief composition of rusting is that's responsible for to create rusting. First we know H2O, and second we know about moisture, air. Air and H2O that's play a vital role making rust. And graphene have we know about hydrophobic in nature. They have to repel water, so that's why they have to delay the oxidation rate which take place inside the rusting. Hence we say that graphene also used in some component of automobile component for anti-rusting purpose. That's why, next point, that's why graphene is used in automobiles. That's why graphene is used in automobile component rust free या anti rusting. Automobile component rust free. It's a main feature, main application of graphene. That's why it is used in automobile components for anti-rusting purpose. Because they are hydrophobic in nature. Is it clear now about graphene? Next use we have to write now. Graphene also used to improve good quality of touch screen. Graphene also used to improve good quality of touch screen in electronic device and smartphones. Next, right now, filter. Make them important application. Filter, it means we have to mention desalination. Can you define desalination? Everyone have to define the term desalination. That's a process. Remove salt, water, salt and other minerals from water. That's a process. We have to remove salt and other minerals from water and make them potable purpose and make them potable use. So लिख लेना कहीं side में, we have to mention now. Desalination is a process of removing. Desalination is a process of removing salt and minerals from the water. Desalination is a process removing salt and minerals from the water. We have to define the desalination process we know about. Likhna graphene also filter water. Graphene also filter water and make them potable. So by this graphene we have to filter water now. Remove all minerals we know about, salt concerning that's not be good for your health, I have to say that. So in this purpose we have to also use graphene. Clear? Next point right now. Antibacterial agent. Next point, antibacterial agent. The Chinese Science Academy in 2014 they have to research now that graphene oxides have killing property, microbes killing property. some bacteria like Escherichia coli. We know about that bacteria name, Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli. The Chinese, Science Academy have to research that the oxide of graphene layer have to microbes killing property. And when we make food packaging materials, so all food keep healthy in longer time. I have to say that with the help of graphene. It's also used in packaging of food stuff and make them safe for longer time, because they have antibacterial property. It means they kills bacteria, है ना, and all microbes, foreign particles. So right now at this point, the oxide of graphene are extremely used in the oxide of graphene are extremely used in killing microbes such as bacteria like Escherichia coli, That's why graphene used in hygiene packaging materials. That's why graphene used in hygiene packaging materials to keep food fresh for a longer time. Am I clear about graphene? It means it behave like antibacterial agent. They have property to kill microbes, foreign particles who entered, we know that. So that's why Chinese Science Academy have to mention packaging materials, food packaging materials, and that materials have never entered the microbes inside the food, and that's why our food keeps safe for a longer duration, for a longer time. It's all about graphene. देखो, यदि आप interested point को mention करते हैं graphene के concerning, we have to learn all time. Like first point, it's thinnest and strongest material of the world. It's important concerning graphene. Second point, I have to say that it's a good conductor of electricity. But we have to comparison copper, because in metals after silver, copper is good conductor. But in graphene, the efficiency of movement of electrons 60% greater than that of copper. So it's a good property of graphene, I have to say that. It's a hydrophobic nature. It's also be a good property concerning graphene. And that's why it is used in automobile component for anti-rusting purpose. We know about titanium. Titanium anti-rusting metal hai. Titanium is an anti-rusting metal. That's why titanium used in ship boats for rust-free purpose. Next point right now, next application. Graphene also used in ethanol distillation. Graphene also used in ethanol distillation. Graphene also used in ethanol distillation. We know about ethanol distillation. By this technique, we have to also make a gasohol. It's a future fuel. We know it's the future fuel discovered in Brazil. Gasohol is a mixture of, we say about petrol and plus we say alcohol. But these days, in earlier time, the percentage of protein, we know about 90% we have to add protein, only 10% we have to add ethyl alcohol. That's a potable alcohol. But these days the percentage of alcohol are gain. and the amount percentage of petrol is decreased now. So it's a future fuel. It's a future fuel because we know about fossil fuel are very limited amount in our earth crust. All fossil fuel, like we know petrol, like diesel, we say about coal, it's a limited. So that's why all country have to work on future fuel. Future fuel. The most attention of India, that's our renewable sources of energy. If we talking about the attention of India concerning fuel, so they have to work on renewable sources of energy like wind, like sun. That's why we know quantum dots in nanotechnology, also used in slimmer solar cell. Slimmer solar cell. In 2023, the scientists who discover quantum dots also get Nobel Prize for quantum dots. For quantum dots. So all country work on future fuel like clathrate. Clathrate also be a future fuel. Clathrate, but we have to work on that fuel. IGA Indian Gas Authority and American NOSANI, we know about army, that have to work on clathrate. At present time it is 2 to 3 times of your fossil fuel. Clathrate. We know about clathrate. Acha, which gases are trapped in clathrate? If questions are asked now, frame now, which gases are trapped inside the clathrate, because it's all about future fuel. So by this technology, if you distill we know ethanol, by this technology we have to improve our gasohol, future fuel. So clathrate we know about, in this methane gas are huge amount. Clathrate is just like a water crystal. Water crystal. If you go inside the sea bottom, there is a many cluster of snow. Like we know water molecules are arranged in lattice form. In lattice form. It is also known as gas hydrate. Gas hydrate. Because it's a molecule of H2O. They have to form in lattice form, but they have to trap a gas. That's why name become gas hydrate. Which gas are trapped in water molecules? You have to say methane. So the chief composition of clathrate future fuel is methane. India work on that future fuel. I have to say that. Methane. It is also known as blue ice. Blue ice. Like some Andaman Nicobar, Bay of Bengal, we know Kaveri, their basins contain huge amount of clathrate. But it's a disadvantage when we remove methane from clathrate, its chances to leakage. If 1% methanes are leaked in water, they have to causes damage to our aquatic life, aquatic animals. So it's a disadvantage because it can create an imbalance of our biodiversity ecosystem. I have to say that it's a disadvantage of clathrate fuel. But we know about by technique we have to work for concerning ethanol based fuel like gasohol. So in this section graphene also be used. So ethanol distillation, and that's ethanol we have to use in future fuel. I like fuel, we have to say that. That is the main reason of clear point. It's all about graphene section. Next point we have to mention now. It is also used in solar cell. It is also used in solar cell. So graphene also used in solar cell. Graphene also used in next energy storage device. Graphene also used in energy storage device. Energy storage device. So lot of application I have to mention. If you forget 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. You learn 2 to 3 application, their properties. It's enough for you. It's enough for you. And we know about current news. That's update. We have to update yourself that India's first innovation graphene center, and that is in Kerala. So if have to space we have to mention that point. I have to also mention in Google Cyclopedia, like graphene production, Graphene Innovation Center, and तो ये आर्टिकल भी आया था फर्दर. That's the news. Kerala trends its site to becoming hub of graphene research. Becoming hub of graphene research. Project nurtured through 3-tier model that will culminate with establishment of graphene park and product development in various application. So ये मेंशन किया है आर्टिकल, बिल्कुल इस पे थोड़ा सा अपडेट कर लीजिएगा आप लोग. कहां पे ये स्टेब्लिश किया गया है? केरला के थ्रिशूर में. कहां पे? थ्रिशूर में. लिख लेना. Graphene center में we have to mention now in Kerala, Thrissur. In Kerala, Thrissur. At a total cost right now 86.41 crore. 86.41 crore. 86.41 crore. It's a total cost of, है ना, Graphene Innovation Center in India. Learn place name Kerala, है ना, in which we know Thrissur. So it's all about graphene. Is it clear about graphene? Any doubt concerning graphene? कोई प्रॉब्लम हो स्ट्रक्चर को लेकर के, प्रॉपर्टी को लेकर के, वी हैव टू मेंशन नाउ. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट राइट नाउ, कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब. नेक्स्ट सेकेंड एलोट्रॉप्स ऑफ कार्बन वी हैव टू मेंशन नाउ. कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब, CNT we know. Carbon nanotube, CNT. We know in milestones of nanotechnology, discovery of CNT also be important. Right now, CNT, carbon nanotube was discovered by 𝐼𝐸𝐻. Carbon nanotechnology was discovered by 𝐼𝐸𝐻. Right now, CNT is a form of carbon allotrope. Next, CNT is a form of carbon allotrope. CNT is a form of carbon allotrope in which graphene sheets are rolled in, cylindrical tube-like structure. So we know about the structure of CNT, tube-like structure. Structure like this. It's a carbon nanotube, है ना. Graphene we know rolled and form a tube-like structure that is known as carbon nanotube, CNT. It's next point. It's a one-dimensional network of carbon atom. It's a one-dimensional dimensional network of carbon. Network of carbon. And graphene is 1 या 2? 2-dimensional. Carbon nanotube is 1-dimensional network of carbon atom या carbon structure. लिखना, the world tiniest CNT is producing. The world tiniest या tiniest CNT, the world tiniest CNT is produced in Japan. That size is 0.4 nanometer. That size is 0.4 nanometer. So world tiniest CNT that's are produced in Japan, which size is 0.4 nanometer. Right now, properties of CNT. Properties. Now CNT is used in creation of lightweight spacecraft. CNT is used in creation of lightweight spacecraft. Next point, it can easily penetrate through membrane. It can easily penetrate through membrane. So it will be helpful in cancer treatment. Because it penetrates membrane easily. That's why we know about it's used in cancer treatment. Next, it have unique property. It has unique property such as highest strength, and electrical conductivity. Clear point? Electrical conductivity. Right now, application of carbon nanotube. We have to mention double inverted comma in 1-dimensional structure of carbon atom, while graphene is 2-dimensional structure of carbon atom. It's a difference between CNT and graphene. It's also be an important point concerning both graphene and carbon nanotube. Clear now? 1 and 2. In these structures we know about graphene sheets are rolled and form a tube-like structure. That is known as carbon nanotube. It's have ability to penetrate the membrane of our cell. That's why it is used in treatment of cancer. Next point, application. By the use of CNT, 𝐲𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐴x technology manufacture lightweight boats. By the use of CNT, 𝐲𝐤𝐸𝐴x technology also manufacture lightweight boat with the help of CNT. Lightweight boat. Next, it will replace silicon made transistor. It replace silicon based transistor as they are small and very less heat, and they are small and very and emit very less heat, as they are small and emit a very less heat. So it's all about CNT, that's they have produced a very less heat. That's why it is also used in place of silicon in transistor. Due to small and produce less heat, it's also used in place of silicon in transistor. ठीक है. CNT are also used in fabric, small sized fabric. CNT are also used in making small sized fabric. Next important application of CNT, it is also used in bucky paper. It is also used in bucky paper. It's an important application of CNT, bucky paper. We have to make them important. CNT also used in bucky paper. We know about bucky paper. What is the use of bucky paper? Right now, some important application लिख लेना. Application of bucky paper. Bucky paper is used in fire protection. Bucky paper is used in fire protection. Bucky paper is used in fire protection. ठीक है. Bucky paper also used to illuminate. Bucky paper also used to illuminate computer and television screen. Bucky paper also used to illuminate computer and television screen. Illuminate computer and television screen. So it's all about, we know bucky paper, and it's all about carbon nanotube. Any doubt concerning CNT? The most important point we have to learn, who discovered CNT? 𝐃𝐢𝐤𝐬, है ना? And what is the structure of CNT? We know tube-like structure. Tube-like structure, that's the main point. We have to focus on that line. Next point, it is the tiniest. We know CNT that's are produced in Japan by a company known as NEET, निपॉन इलेक्ट्रिक कंपनी ने मेंशन किया है वर्ल्ड का टाइनिएस्ट कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब. कहां बना है डियर? जापान में बना है. बिकॉज द डिस्कवरर आल्सो बिलोंग टू, वी नो, जापान, 𝐃𝐤𝐤𝐬. CNT also be a good conductor of electricity. We know about carbon nano tube, है ना? It is also, it's have property to penetrate the membrane. That's why it is also used to we know cancer. Carbon nano tube. It is also used in, we know, lightweight boats. So it's all about application and properties of carbon nanotube. इतना भी याद रहेगा तो सेगमेंट आप अच्छा खासा उसमें एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे चीजों को, कहां ग्राफीन का यूज है, कहां कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब का यूज है इन केस. लास्ट वन इज फुलरीन. एक और है ना हमारे पास, फुलरीन. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वी हैव टू मेंशन नाउ, फुलरीन. द फुल नेम वी नो अबाउट बकमिंस्टर फुलरीन. Buckminster Fullerene. Buckminster Fullerene. It's all about, we know Buckminster Fuller, he is an architect of America. Right now Buckminster Fuller is an architect of America. Buckminster Fullerene is an architect of America who made a dome which structures match with which structure match with fullerene. Whose structure match with fullerene. So that's why now the name taken after American architecture. So that's why the name taken after American architecture become Buckminster Fullerene. He is an architect of America, and he make a dome. That's a structure look like fullerene. You know, fullerene carbon 60, buckyball, look like, you know, football, look like football. Right now, fullerene is an allotrope of carbon. Fullerene is an, next point, fullerene is an allotrope of carbon. Fullerene is an allotrope of carbon. Fullerene is an allotrope of carbon in which graphene sheets are rolled. Graphene sheets are rolled in spherical ball like structure. In spherical ball like structure. Spherical ball like structure. Spherical ball like structure. We know that's known as buckyball, carbon 60, C60, as like this. It's all about CNT, and it's all about, I have to say that, fullerene. That's about fullerene structure. We have to mention that's a fullerene. Buckyball. When the graphene sheets are, we know, spherical form, that's create a fullerene. So fullerene structure is buckyball, football look, we know, spherical. CNT look like tube like structure, and graphene, that's a one atom thick layer. Never forget the structure name we know about, है ना? Next point right now, properties of fullerene. Properties of fullerene. लिखना, fullerene is the good electrical conductivity. Fullerene is the good electrical conductivity. Good electrical conductivity. Next point, application of fullerene. Application of fullerene. बस एक ही property we have to mention now. Application of fullerene. Some application we have to focus now, as like antioxidant, as like antioxidant, as like antioxidant, as like antioxidant. We know about antioxidant, those substances who can minimizing free radicals which are synthesized in our body, that's considered as antioxidant. So they have to behave like antioxidant, because we know about some fullers are also be available in market, and they have to scavenger of radicals. They, we know, kill all radicals that are synthesized in our body in cream form, in liquid form, we know about, in tablets form. Fullerene also available in markets. So some point concerning antioxidant right now. Fullerene can react with a number of radicals. Fullerene can react with a number of radicals before consumed. Hence these molecules are also known as radical sponge. Radical sponge. Hence these molecules are also known as radical sponge. That keeps our skin healthy and wrinkles free. That keeps our skin healthy and wrinkles free. that keeps our skin healthy and wrinkles free. Keeps our skin healthy and wrinkles free, because they have to minimizing free radicals, unwanted chemicals in our body. That's why fullerene also we have, like we know, antioxidant. Obviously, tablets in cream version, we know, fuller radical sponge, that's also be available, like this dear. Yeah, it's a radical sponge. It's a radical sponge. That's a cream we know about, available in markets, look like. It's all made by, we know, fullerene. Nano version, I have to say that, their nano version. Clear about fullerene antioxidant property? Next point right now. It is also used in cosmetics. Fullerene also used in cosmetics. Fullerene also used in cosmetics. Cosmetics. लिखना, fullerene also act like cytoprotector against UV rays. Act like cytoprotector against UV rays. It means they have to protect your cell from UV rays. They have to cut off UV rays. So that's why so many, we know, creams also be available in market and protect you from, you know, UV rays. You know, a cancer known as xeroderma pigmentosus. Xeroderma pigmentosus, it's a type of cancer. Xeroderma pigmentosus, it's a type of cancer, and when the person exposing sunlight in xeroderma pigmentosus, their skin become burn. Because UV rays have to damage their skin. Xeroderma pigmentosus, it's a type of cancer. When you expose in sunlight, your all skins, we know, that are burn, form blister on the surface of skin. Reason behind UV rays. So fullerene, you know, we have like also cosmetic, they have to also cut off UV rays and protect our cell. One more hormone also help to cut UV rays. That's name is melatonin. Name is melatonin. It's a hormone, also protect us from melatonin. We know about, it's also cut off UV rays and protect your skin. Melatonin, it's a opposite of, antagonist of melanin. We know melanin, that's provide dark color to skin. It's a hormone MSH, melanocytic stimulating hormone melanin. It's provide dark color to the skin. You know, there is a moles on your skin surface because of melanin. So melanin provide dark surface, while melatonin provide white surface. They disperse in your skin and provide, you know, white color, not dark color. So both are antagonist, both are opposite, melanin and melatonin. So melatonin, we know about, that's are secreted by a special gland known as pineal gland. We know pineal gland, it's a rice shaped gland located in our brain. The connection of pineal is, we know about, through optic nerve, and that's gland work in absence of light. According to so many, we know, philosophers concerning René Descartes, he says that pineal gland is the principal seat of the soul. The principal seat of the soul. Your all thoughts are generated in pineal gland. So pineal gland secrete, we know, melatonin hormones. That hormone protect, cut off UV rays. That hormone, we know, also help in sleeping pattern. They have to regulate your metabolism. They have to regulate your body temperature also. And they have to also regulate menstrual cycle inside the female, who can't follow, you know, day-night cycle. Because pineal gland have to biological clock of your body. It's regulate your circadian rhythm, day-night cycle, sleep-wake cycle. So if any human, yeah, any male, yeah, female, we have to say don't follow melatonin, 24-hour cycle, they have to disturbance of melatonin in their blood. So many problems take place. Their sleeping pattern are disturbed now. Like I have to say that their metabolism can be also be disturbed, because it's a crucial, hormone that's also cut off UV rays and protect your skin. As like fullerene also act like cytoprotector against UV rays. Clear point? Next, some property also be right now. Prevent cell toxicity. Prevent cell toxicity. Prevent cell toxicity. So fullerene can also be remove all toxic from your body by by minimizing free radicals, by minimizing unwanted chemicals. They have to prevent cell toxicity. Matlab they remove all toxic, all poisonous, all unwanted chemicals inside the cell. So it's all about cosmetic, cytoprotector against UV rays, as like antioxidant. Fullerene is also be important concerning our health sector. Our health sector, I have to say that. Is it clear? One more important point we have to mention now. It's also act like, yeah, it is used in drug delivery system. It's important, make them important. It's also used in drug delivery system. So fullerene also used in drug delivery system. You know about when you goes on chemotherapy, so many radiation also affect your healthy cell. Healthy cell, later on cancer also be started, because radiations can damage your healthy cell. But if you wanted to take medicine particularly inside the cell, so you have to need drug delivery system, and all chemicals, all medicines that are interact within cell tissues through fullerene, and that's technique known as drug delivery system. It's an important application of fullerene these days. We have to send medicine in particular cell, in particular tissue, with the help of fullerene. That is known as drug delivery system. No any side effect of your internal organ. It's minimizing side effect of medicine. It's minimizing side effects of medicine. Achha, one more things, India also make a special nano particles that have to make drug delivery inside the human body with the help of a very useful fungus. Tell me about their name. India also, mention a special nanoparticles that have to make drug delivery system, drug delivery medicines inside the human body, and that's nanoparticles are made by a very useful fungus. If you talking about, nanotechnology in India, we have to mention that term, because it's a dynamic section. It's a dynamic section. That's name is पॉइंट को कहीं साइड में नोट कर लीजिएगा आप लोग. कॉर्डी गोल्ड नैनो पार्टिकल्स, दैट्स नेम इज कॉर्डी गोल्ड नैनो पार्टिकल्स. That's known as Cordy gold nanoparticles. That's known as Cordy gold nanoparticle. Clear point? Cordy gold nanoparticles. कुछ ऐसे में मेंशन होगा डियर, ये Cordy gold COR करके मेंशन होगा, AUNPS nanoparticles. Like that symbol mention concerning Cordy gold nanoparticles. CORAU nanoparticles. In simple form. In simple form, we say Cordy COR, short form gold AU nanoparticles. That was developed by Assam University. That's name is Bodland Bodoland University है Assam का, and we know 4 other institutions of India have to develop that nanoparticles that can make drug delivery inside the human body, and they receive internal tag from Germany, internal patent tag from Germany. So we have to mention now Assam Bodoland University and other 4 institutions of India, Assam Bodoland University, and other 4 institutions of India develop 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles. We have to double inverted in 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles, which can make drug delivery in the human body, So it's important concerning 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles. What is the use of 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles? By this we have to drug delivery inside the body, inside the cell, inside the tissue. I have to say that it's a main contribution work of 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles. Is it clear? Yes or not? So which fungus we have to get? Some questions also be framed from that fungus side. What is the use of that fungus? Tell me about the name of fungus, because they have to extract that useful fungus. That substance are extracted by useful fungus. So लिखिएगा 𝐾𝐤𝐤𝐬 nanoparticles extracted by a very high value parasitic fungi, fungus या fungi या fungi, very high value parasitic fungi known as Cordyceps militaris, and Cordyceps militaris, we have to important this Cordyceps militaris and gold salt. So it's a Cordyceps militaris, it's a useful fungus. They have to create so many nutritional value. We get so many nutritional value from that fungus. क्या नाम है dear? Cordyceps militaris, and by this they have to make Cardi nanoparticles that are used to enter medicines inside the body. Look like drug delivery system. Is it clear about Cordyceps militaris? It's a fungus. Some right now beneficial use of Cordyceps militaris. Right now, use of beneficial of ऐसे लिख देना, benefit of Cordyceps militaris, they have to also inside tablets, inside the cream, gold salt also be added now. Inside the tablets, inside the cream, ointment, gold salt also be uses. As like inside the medicine, but it's a benefit for us because it's a high value parasitic fungus. Like it's boost your immune system. Cordyceps militaris, that's boost your immune system. It's also help to protect about other factors, radicals. They have to minimizing radicals inside the body. They have to also improve your brain function. It's all about benefit of Cordyceps militaris. So right now some benefits of Cordyceps militaris. like anti-aging effect, like anti-aging effect, anti-aging effect, like anti-aging effect. We know anti-aging effect matlab look like, we have like antioxidant minimizing free radicals and stop damaging our cell, है ना, keeps skin healthy, wrinkles free. So that's why we have to use anti-aging effect. It's also boost our immune system. It's also boost our immune system. It's also boost our immune system. It's all about cordyceps militaris. It's also improve our brain function. It's also improve our brain function. It's also improve our brain function. It's detoxify. It detoxify the body. It means remove all toxic, all unwanted chemicals from the body. Detoxify the body. It's also lower blood sugar. It also lower blood sugar. It's also lower blood sugar and increase energy naturally. It's all about cordyceps militaris. That's the name of parasitic fungus, and it's all about benefit of that fungus. Cordyceps militaris, that is the benefit of fungus, like immune system booster, like we know about anti-aging impact. We have to say that to manage to improve your brain function, है ना, anti-aging effect. It's all about decrease the blood sugar amount in your blood, decrease the, as look like insulin, act like insulin, because the main function of insulin we know about. Insulin can decrease the amount of glucose inside the blood. When someone have to diabetes mellitus, so in diabetes mellitus, the beta cell of pancreas, not alpha, beta, 3 cells are present in pancreas, that is known as islets of Langerhans, alpha, beta and delta. So beta cell of pancreas secrete release insulin hormone. If someone have diabetes mellitus, their beta cell are affected and that produce less amount of insulin. So that's why they are unable to, convert glucose into glycogen. Our body store food in form of glycogen. Glycogen is a polysaccharides. Glucagon hormone break down glycogen into glucose, increase the blood sugar. But insulin, they have convert all glucose inside into the glycogen, decrease our blood sugar. So they also behave like insulin. I have to say in that manner. Diabetes mellitus, they have excrete heavy glucose amount through urination. But the person who have suffering from diabetes insipidus, so in diabetes insipidus, they have heavy urination. Lot of water that's are drain out, passing excrete through your body. You feel dehydration, not glucose amount. Lot of water amount have to excrete in diabetes insipidus. But mellitus, they excrete huge bulk amount of glucose through urine. So that person feel thirst. They need water all time. It occurs because of ADH hormone. It's a hormone released by your master gland, Peyush gland. Anti-diuretic hormone. It's a hormone. Anti-diuretic hormone that's are secreted by Peyush gland, and ADH have to regulate reabsorption of water from the kidney. If your kidney cannot reabsorb water, useful water, so ADH have lower amount. If ADH is normal in your blood, they have to regulate all kidney function. Kidney reabsorb water properly. Kidney reabsorb water properly. And if you have a lack of ADH secretion, you goes on diabetes insipidus. It's also be a hormone. It's also be a hormone. Alcohol affected. Alcohol reduce the ADH hormone. That's why the drinkers, the alcoholic persons, when they consume alcohol, they feel dehydration. They feel dehydration. UPSC also framed as a question that which substance not provided in to a dehydration person. Option mention किया था tea. It's about coffee, obviously. It's about sea water, and also we know about alcohol. It's a contradiction question. Some students claim on that question. All fours, we know they have to dehydrate. They have to remove water, like chai, coffee, your heart stimulate, we know about panic form. We have to fluctuation in your urine. Urine fluctuation depend on circumstances. Like summer season we consume huge amount of water, winter season we consume less amount of water. Urine also we depend on that moment. We feel mentally tiredness, letharginess, you have to fluctuate in your urine, we know. But per day the person excrete urine per day, that amount is 1.5 liters. 1.5 liters. So according to science, sea water not be provided to dehydration person because they contain salt. Salt nature have to attach water. So if a person contains sea water, all the salt inside the water drain out all the water inside the cell, not body. Sea water contains salt, and salt drain out all water from the cell, not the body. You feel severe dehydration. But examiner have to be right. Alcohol. If someone have to claim on that question, examiner side option is now, when a person take alcohol huge amount, the ADH hormone are reduced, and by this the kidney are unable to reabsorb useful water, and that's are excrete through body. In that term condition, in that stage, the person excrete 20 liters urine per day. As like 1.5 liter, as like 20 liters. Severe dehydration. Hypovolemic shock, multi-organ fail in that condition. I have to say that. Multi-organ fail. So it's a special fungus we know about. That's also be lower down your blood sugar, boost your immune system, anti-aging impact. It's all about Cordyceps militaris. We have to see the image of Cordyceps militaris. Have to learn itself, Cordyceps militaris. It's a fungus, Look this fungus, and by this fungus they have to make a Cordy nanoparticles. Cordy, which can use to drug delivery inside the human body. That's a fungus. Is it clear about? So जब आप explain करेंगे role of nanotechnology in India, so we have to also mention Kārdi-Gold nanoparticles. Kārdi-Gold nanoparticles. By this we can drug delivery inside the human body. मैंने कहा था ना, जितने आपके थॉट्स आएंगे उतना आपका एक्सप्रेशन क्या होगा डियर, बूम होगा. वी हैव टू एक्सप्लोर योरसेल्फ. मेरा मेन मोटो ग्राफीन के बारे में इतना सारा डिटेल बताने के एक ही था कि बहुत ऐसे कंसेप्ट में आपको कंसाइज कंसेप्ट दूंगा, तो नो डाउट और भी थोड़ी चीज आपको याद होगा, बाकी चीजें क्या हो जाएंगे भैया, भूल जाएंगे. बट यदि आपके पास ब्रॉड कंटेंट रहेगा तो नो डाउट एक लिमिट के अकॉर्डिंग आप चीजों को मैनेज कर लेंगे. अब इतने सारे पॉइंट मैंने आपको ग्राफीन में मेंशन किया, इतने सारे पॉइंट वी हैव टू मेंशन इन कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब, इतने सारे पॉइंट वी हैव टू मेंशन इन फुलरेन. इट्स ऑल अबाउट concerning nanotech, concerning नैनोटेक। अभी क्वेश्चन आया था कि नैनो साइंस मेंस लेवल में क्वेश्चन आया था कि नैनो साइंस या नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इज द साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल, अनंत संभावनाओं का साइंस कहा जाता है, इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल। गिव एन अकाउंट ऑन दैट लाइन। बहुत तरह के सेगमेंट आपको लिखना पड़ेगा ना कि वाई नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इज नोन एज साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल, साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल। ये क्वेश्चन आप लोग कहीं साइड में लिख लीजिएगा, आपको इस पे जरूर लिखना है। ये यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चन फ्रेम किया गया है, तो वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, है ना। सो क्वेश्चन कहीं साइड में लिख लेना, व्हाई नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इज नोन एज साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल, व्हाई नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इज नोन एज साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल, साइंस ऑफ इनफिनाइट पॉसिबल। But at this question, I have to provide some clue. By this we have to write, है ना, itself now. Why nanoscience या nanotechnology is known as science of infinite possible, अनंत संभावनाओं का साइंस कहा जाता है। ये इसकी जो पॉसिबिलिटी वो क्या है डियर, इनफिनाइट है। मैंने कहा ना 10 to the power -7 to 10 to the power -9 meter. When we adopt any structure, we have to find out unusual property, unknown property, extraordinary property, novel property. Like we know gold, which look like we know golden yellow, but when we manage gold in 10 to the power -7 to 10 to the power -9 meter, it become reddish brown, and that's not dissolved in water. It's a unique. It's dissolved in water. So according to Stephen Hawking, we know about Stephen Hawking. He is known as modern Einstein. Stephen Hawking. And he divided science 4 types on their structure. According to Stephen Hawking, science is of 4 types on the basis of their structure. Like he say about macro science, like he say about micro science, like he say about nano science, like he say about nuclear science. According to Stephen Hawking, on the basis of structure, science is of 4 types: macro, micro, nano and nuclear. In macro science, we study the substance structure which is more than above 10 to the power -3 meter. In macro, we study the substance which structure is above 10 to the power -3 meter. In micro science, we study the structure which are between 10 to the power -3 meter to 10 to the power -7 meter. In micro science. And in nanoscience, we have to also learn what's the structure of nanoscience. 10 to the power -7 meter to 10 to the power -9 meter. We study the structure of substance in nanoscience. And in nuclear science, we study about the structures which are less than 10 to the power -9 meter, lower than 10 to the power -9 meter. It's about nuclear science. In macro science, we know about macro science. Some physics rules are also be applicable, like gravitational force, Newton's law, also applicable on macro science. Electromagnetic force also applicable on macro science. In micro science, weak forces are applicable, like cohesive force, like adhesive force, I have to say that weak forces. In nuclear science, quantum dots, physics rule are applicable. We know quantum dots. By this discovery, we know 2023 some scientists gain Nobel Prize about quantum dots. Discovery of quantum dots. Quantum, it means small, chota. It's also be a part of nanotechnology. And with the help of quantum dots, we have to improve the display technique quality. With the help of quantum dots, we have to make, flexible touch screen, smartphones, slimmer solar cell. With the help of quantum dots, we have to also examine the presence of tumors inside the body. That's a significance of quantum dots. I have to say that in quantum dots concerning. So nuclear science, the main rules of physics, that's our quantum dots are applicable. But when we talking about nanoscience, there is no any rules of physics are applicable. There is no any rules of physics are applicable. If there is no any physics rule applicable, how the possibility will be limit? How will be the possibility will be limit? It's become infinite. It become infinite. So my one question that why nanotechnology is considered as science of infinite possible. So we have to segment in one line that in nanoscience there is no rules of physics are applicable. In some cases we know about, some cases 10 to 20% quantum dots are applicable. But 80% there is no any physics rule applicable. If there is no rules are fixed, so how the infinite possibility will be fixed? So अपने थॉट्स को एक्सप्लोर करिएगा इस सेगमेंट पे, एक बार लिख के देखिएगा क्या फ्लो आ रहा है, फ्यूज थॉट्स कितने बढ़ रहे हैं हमारे, जितने सारे टर्म में बार बार रिकॉल रिवीजन होगा तो आपके अंदर एक क्षमता जनरेट, मैंने कहा ना आपको बस बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग जनरेट करना है अपने को मेंस लेवल में लेके चलने का और अपने को प्री लेवल में लेके चलने का. देखो प्री लेवल में बहुत तरह के सेगमेंट पता है कहां से आएंगे डियर? ग्राफीन प्रॉपर्टीज, ग्राफीन एप्लीकेशन, सीएनटी प्रॉपर्टीज, सीएनटी एप्लीकेशन, फुलरिन प्रॉपर्टीज, फुलरिन एप्लीकेशन, ये सारे आपके प्रीमेंस में कवर हो जाएंगे. As like we know about concerning Cordyceps militaris, that's the name of fungus. Then as a question in prelims, because we get gold nanoparticles that can make drug delivery inside the human body. It's also be important, and it's a invention discovery of about India, the 4 institute, and we know about concerning your Assam University, collaboration है उनका अपना, and they have to create nanoparticles. So याद रखिएगा नैनो साइंस में डियर किसी भी फिजिक्स का रूल लागू नहीं होता है, और जब कोई रूल लागू नहीं है तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है डियर जो पॉसिबिलिटी होगी क्या है? फिक्स नहीं होगी. जब कोई रूल ही फिक्स नहीं है तो फिर हम क्या पॉसिबिलिटी फिक्स करेंगे? हम जितना स्ट्रक्चर में उसको अडॉप्ट करेंगे उतना ही हमें अनविजुअल प्रॉपर्टी सीन होगा of that substance. I have to say that. Is it clear concerning allotropes carbon and we know about nanoparticles? Any doubt concerning graphene, carbon nanotube and fullerene? एक बार रिकॉल कर लेंगे बार बार ना तो चीजें क्या हो जाएगा डियर? आपको याद हो जाएगा. And we know about diamond graphite. So diamond is bad conductor of heat and electricity because its structure is tetrahedral. There is no free electrons. So some concerning diamond and graphite we have to mention now. Their structures is also be sufficient now. Next right now diamond. Next allotropes. Diamond. लिखना diamond is a bad conductor of electricity. Diamond is a bad conductor of electricity because there is no free electrons in the diamond. Because there is no free electrons in the diamond. It's a tetrahedral structure. So diamond structure is tetrahedral structure. tetrahedral structure. It's a tetrahedral structure. You know, carbon have 4 electrons, and if all 4 electrons are bind, no free electron, how the electron can move? But in graphite, 3 electrons are bind, 1 electrons are free, so that's why graphite is a good conductor of electricity, because its structure is hexagonal. Hexagonal. Next point right now, graphite is good conductor of electricity. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity because free electrons are present in their carbon atom, because free electrons are present in their carbon atom, because free electrons are present in their carbon atom, because free electrons are present in their carbon atom. Its structure is hexagonal. Its structure is hexagonal. Its structure is hexagonal. Any doubt? Diamond, graphite, we know, study in your science also, है ना, concerning diamond and graphite. Is it clear about all section of allotropes of carbon, concerning diamond, concerning graphene, carbon nanotube, है ना? Carbon nanotube is one dimensional, या we say about two dimensional? One, and graphene and CNT look like tube like structure, is it? And fullerene look like spherical like structure. Obvious, it's good. So many application of fullerene, like antioxidant, like cosmetics, like detoxify the, है ना, poisons body. I also say. And concerning एक और सेगमेंट मैंने बताया था ना, ड्रग डिलीवरी सिस्टम. ड्रग डिलीवरी सिस्टम, the main use of fullerene that is in drug delivery system. One more things, it's also act like antiviral agent, because some scientists have to study that fullerene can help suppress the replication of HIV AIDS. So it's a main use that fullerene also used in, you know, treatment of AIDS. Treatment of AIDS. It's also all about fullerene. It's a researchable work about fullerene. Clear na? In AIDS treatment. The main virus of AIDS is HIV. Acha, how many tests are conducted in AIDS? Tell me about some tests concerning AIDS. Tell me about some tests concerning AIDS. Like first is ELISA test. ELISA also we conduct. We know ELISA test. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It's a full name of ELISA. Fourth generation test, P24 antigen test, Western blotting test, antibody differentiation test, PCR for plasma HIV RNA test. So many tests are available at that time concerning AIDS. और हम लोग पढ़ेंगे डिजीज वाले टॉपिक में जितने सारे हमारे इम्यूनेशन प्रोग्राम्स हैं उस पर हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे डियर. लेकिन अभी हम लोग एक सॉलिड, एक कंसोलिडेट जो है ना नैनोटेक पे पूरा सेगमेंट बना लेते हैं. जिस एंगल से भी क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करता है, वहां का शब्द वहां पे, वहां का शब्द वहां पे हम लोग क्या करेंगे, कॉपी पेस्ट करेंगे. ये तो पता है ना, कॉपी पेस्ट वर्जन, कहां का शब्द उठाना है, कहां पे हमें रखना है. फील्ड बना के और शब्दों का चयन करिए और फिर उस पर राइटिंग स्किल को धीरे धीरे क्या करिए भाई, बूस्ट करिए. लेकिन मैंने कहा ना, उसके लिए आपके पास शब्दों का पावर होना चाहिए, थॉट्स होने चाहिए. अब ग्राफीन, सीएनटी और fullerene के बारे में इतना एप्लीकेशन यदि माइंड में सेट है तो इजी वी हैव टू मैनेज नाउ. आसानी से हम लिख डालेंगे उस पे. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वी हैव टू मेंशन नाउ. Next point we have to mention now. Different types of nanometers. Different types of nanometers. Different types of nanometers. Make them important point. Make them important point. Different types of nano. ठीक है. मोस्ट अभी नोट मत करिएगा आप लोग. मोस्ट कॉमन नैनो मटेरियल्स, and we have to also make a circle. So many nano मीटर्स के बारे में हम लोग स्टडी करेंगे इन केस. क्या लिखे? नैनो मटेरियल्स लिखे है ना? नहीं, नैनो मटेरियल्स कर लेना. डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स. डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स. डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स. इसमें फर्स्ट राइट नाउ, फर्स्ट नोट करिएगा डियर, नैनो ट्यूब. फर्स्ट वी कंसर्निंग नैनो ट्यूब. नैनो ट्यूब. आपके पास कुछ अलग अलग नैनो मटेरियल्स की नॉलेज होना चाहिए. नैनो ट्यूब क्या है, नैनो वायर्स क्या है, क्वांटम डॉट्स क्या है, नैनो पोरस क्या है. We have to learn some nano materials name and what's their use. Clear na? So that's all nano materials. First right now nano tubes. लिखना, nano tubes are cylindrical structure. Nano tubes are cylindrical structure made of carbon, comma boron nitride, boron nitride made up of carbon, comma boron nitride and other materials, मतलब we talking about the composition of nano tubes. That's made up of carbon and boron nitride and some other materials. Clear point? Next point right now. They can have single walled or multi-walled structure, They can have single walled, yeah, we say about multi-walled structure, and can unique mechanical, electrical, and can unique mechanical, electrical and thermal properties, mechanical and electrical and thermal properties. Right now nanotubes are used in energy storage. Nanotubes are used in energy storage and reinforcement materials. Reinforcement materials. We know reinforcement material like steel. We know some things. Steel, like we know. When we added some steel, other metals inside the cement, that is known as reinforcement materials. So that's the main application of nanotubes, to create energy storage and also reinforcement materials. When we added some steel particles inside the concrete, inside the cement, that's are considered reinforced materials. It's all about nanotubes. nanotubes. Next, nanoparticles. After nanotubes, we mention nanoparticles. लिखना, nanoparticles are small particles. Nanoparticles are small particles which size ranging from 1 to 100 nanometer. Which size ranging from 1 to 100 nanometer. It means 10 to the power minus 9 meter to 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Approximate 1 to 100 nanometer. ठीक है, लिखना, नैनो पार्टिकल्स कैन बी मेड फ्रॉम a wide range of materials. Nanoparticles can be made from a wide range of materials, including metals, comma, semiconductors and polymers. So many polymers, so many metals, so many semiconductors are used in formation of nanoparticles. लिखना, nanoparticles are used in drug delivery and imaging. Nanoparticles are used in drug delivery and imaging. It's all about nanomaterials. Clear point? I have been talking about some common nanomaterials. First is nanotube, second is nanoparticles. आपसे बहुत तरह के मटेरियल्स हैं, वहां मटेरियल से भी क्वेश्चन पूछ देगा. एज लाइक आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया, व्हाट इज क्वांटम डॉट्स? क्वांटम डॉट्स आल्सो बी अ नैनोमटेरियल्स. Quantum dot also be a nanomaterials. Next point right now, quantum dots. Next point we have to mention now, quantum dots. लिखना, quantum dots are semiconductor nanoparticles. Quantum dots are semiconductor nanoparticles. अब नैनोपार्टिकल आते ही पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया ना, 100 to 100 नैनोमीटर, 1 to 100 नैनोमीटर साइज की मैं बात कर रहा हूं. क्वांटम डॉट्स आर सेमीकंडक्टर नैनोपार्टिकल that have unique optical and electrical property. That have unique optical and electronic properties. Unique optical and electronic properties. Optical and electronic properties. Next, quantum dots are used in slimmer solar cell. Quantum dots are used in slimmer solar cell. It is also used to improve display technique. Comma, imaging and sensing. Look like sensors in and sensing. तो सेंसिंग में, डिस्प्ले टेक्निक को इंप्रूव करने में, स्लिमर सोल बनाने में, सोलर सेल. वी नो अबाउट इंडियाज हैव टू वर्क ऑन renewable sources of energy, so that's why we have to make solar panel look like slimmer size. We, by these quantum dots, we have to make slimmer solar cell. We have to improve display technique, है ना, टच स्क्रीन ऑफ मोबाइल्स, टीवी, every object. It's all about quantum dots. Quantum dots have a unique property of optical and electrical properties. मेन प्रॉपर्टी है इसका ऑप्टिकल और इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉपर्टीज। अब क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं? नैनो ट्यूब्स, नैनो पार्टिकल्स, क्वांटम डॉट्स, क्लियर। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट लिखिएगा नैनो वायर, नैनो वायर, नैनो वायर। तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वी हैव टू मेंशन नाउ सम नैनो मटेरियल्स लाइक नैनो वायर, नैनो वायर। कुछ लिखना है तो उसको लिखना तो पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा फर्दर, नो डाउट। बिना लिखे कब तक? मान लो लेक्चर प्रोवाइड भी कर दूंगा, चीजें माइंड पे सेट नहीं होगा, फिर नोट्स रहेगा तो कहीं ना कहीं आप वहां से चीजों को पढ़ के नोट करके मेंशन कर सकते हैं। नैनो वायर्स में मेंशन करिएगा। नैनो वायर्स आर इलोंगेटेड, नैनो वायर्स आर इलोंगेटेड स्ट्रक्चर, नैनो वायर्स आर इलोंगेटेड स्ट्रक्चर which diameter ranging from 1 to 100 nanometer, which diameter ranging from 1 to 100 nanometer, 1 to 100 nanometer. They can be made from metals, semiconductors and some oxides, metals, semiconductors and some oxides. ठीक है। इट इज ऑल्सो यूज्ड इन एनर्जी स्टोरेज। अब देखो एनर्जी स्टोरेज में हमारे पास दो सेगमेंट सेम हो गए ना। फर्दर हमारे पास जो नैनो ट्यूब्स थे उनका भी हमने यूज किया कहां भाई? एनर्जी स्टोरेज में, क्लियर ना। सो नैनो ट्यूब्स एंड नैनो वायर्स बोथ यूज आर सेम। एनर्जी स्टोरेज कॉमा सेंसर्स and electronic device, so it's all about nano wire. So what do you mean by nanoporous material? Nanoporous, we know nanoporous look like, we know filtration, main work is filtration, separation. Is it clear? Yes or not? Nanoporous material. Next point, nanoporous materials, nanoporous material, nanoporous material. Its size also be 1 to 100 nanometer, size also be a 1 to 100 nanometer. They can be made from metals, लिखना nanoporous materials made from metals, nanoporous materials made from metals, ceramics and polymer. It is used in filtration, separation and catalysis या catalysis। तो कैटालिसिस में, सेपरेशन में, फिल्ट्रेशन में हम किसका यूज करना चाहेंगे डियर? नैनो पोरस का। इट्स ऑल अबाउट नैनो मटेरियल्स। याद रहेगा नैनो ट्यूब, नैनो पार्टिकल्स, नैनो वायर, क्वांटम डॉट्स, नैनो पार्टिकल्स, नैनो पोरस। कितने हो गए? एटलीस्ट 5। इट्स ऑल अबाउट नैनो मटेरियल्स। थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज होना चाहिए। क्वांटम डॉट्स क्या है, नैनो पार्टिकल्स क्या है, नैनो वायर्स क्या है, नैनो पोरस क्या है ना। जहां यूज होगा हम वहां पे आइडेंटिफाई कर लेंगे। इट्स ऑल अबाउट डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स। अब आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया व्हाट इज नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी, मेंशन डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स, मेंशन सम डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ नैनो मटेरियल्स एंड देयर यूजेस। तो सारे आप 5 को मेंशन कर सकते हैं ना। और उसके यूज के साथ जब फॉर्मेशन की बात नहीं की तो सिर्फ हम यूज को टारगेट करेंगे। कंसर्निंग नैनो वायर्स, कंसर्निंग नैनो पार्टिकल्स, कंसर्निंग नैनो ट्यूब्स, नैनो पोरस, क्वांटम डॉट्स, वी हैव टू राइट देयर यूज। बन सकते हैं क्वेश्चन नैनो मटेरियल से लेकर के। सो आज का सेशन इतना ही रहेगा हमारा। कुछ क्लियर हुआ? समथिंग? देखो बार बार जाके घर पे आपको रिकॉल करना पड़ेगा, नहीं रिकॉल करेंगे कुछ थ्योरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड है वो लिखवाना भी जरूरी है, अदरवाइज आपके थॉट्स बूम नहीं हो पाएगा, है ना। तो वो आपके लिए जरूरी है डियर, लेकिन बार बार रिकैप रिवीजन दैट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ स्टडी। सो 2 to 3 मार्क्स बस वे में हम लोग थोड़ा सा रिकॉल कर लेते हैं आज का जो सेशन हुआ था। एक बर्ड्स आई व्यू, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्राफीन, 1 atom thick layer, 1 atom 2 dimensional of carbon atom. It's all about graphene. It's have a good conductor of electricity. Electron can move easier manner as that of copper, 60% better than that of copper. It's about graphene. Its hydrophobic nature. By this, graphene also used in automobile components for rust free, for anti rusting, obviously, because it's delay the oxidation rate that's occur in rusting. तो देखो टर्म याद होने लगे, माइंड पे सेट होने लगा सारी चीजें अब। ऑल अबाउट इट्स ऑप्टिकली ट्रांसपेरेंट, इट्स द थिनेस्ट एंड स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट मटेरियल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, इट्स ऑल अबाउट ग्राफीन, है कि नहीं भाई। इट्स हैव अ थर्मल प्रॉपर्टी बिकॉज ग्राफीन बेस्ट चिप in transistor produce less heat. Some transistors have mentioned, graphene based chip that produce less heat. It's have a high heat resistant capacity up to 350 degrees Celsius. They have to also retain temperature now. Mechanical property, we have to say that due to optical property, they have to use in flexible display, like smartphones, like television, LCD, LED, OLED, organic light emitting diode. Curve TV also be made by graphene. Your touch screen that's also be made up of graphene. अब इतना सेगमेंट याद हो गया फर्स्ट में। थोड़ा सा डायनेमिक वर्जन मैंने क्या आपको मेंशन किया था, इंडिया फर्स्ट ग्राफीन इनोवेशन सेंटर, केरला, त्रिशूर। इट्स अ मेन सेगमेंट, वी हैव टू नोट डाउन। थोड़ा सा डायनेमिक था, आप कहीं भी अपडेट कर लेंगे ना, जब राइटिंग स्किल में बूम करेंगे अपने आप को, तो कहीं भी साइड में मेंशन कर सकते हैं डायनेमिक वर्जन के साथ। लाइक वी नो अबाउट नैनो पार्टिकल्स दैट्स कैन मेक ड्रग डिलीवरी सिस्टम। व्हाट्स द नेम ऑफ दैट नैनो पार्टिकल्स? कॉडी गोल्ड नैनो पार्टिकल्स, CORAU, NPS in simplicity we have to donate this कॉडी गोल्ड नैनो particles. अच्छा, which fungus we have to extract? Militaris, that is the main name of fungus. That's a useful parasitic fungus. अच्छा, what is the benefit of Cordyceps militaris? Tell me about benefit of Cordyceps militaris. Something 1 to 3 benefit. Boost your immune system, anti-aging effect, also maintain your brain function. Cordyceps militaris, lower down the glucose level, prevent from diabetes, and maintain energy naturally, increase energy naturally. All benefit of Cordyceps militaris. It's important because we have to get nanoparticles and we have to drug delivery inside the human body. So that's why it is important. And that system developed by which university of Japan? What is the name of university? How many institutions take part in that? 4 institutions. Good. Everything is clear now. Say something about carbon nanotube. It's a one-dimensional networking. Concerning carbon nanotube, first one things we have to notate now, that a tube-like structure. When graphene rolled and making a tube-like structure known as CNT, carbon nanotube. It's also be a good conductor of electricity. It's penetrate membrane. That's why it is also used in cancer. It is also used in lightweight spacecraft, and some technology that's also used in lightweight boats. All about CNT. Fullerene, carbon 60. When carbon drops are graphene rolled in spherical shape. Fullerene, Buckminster Fullerene, Buckminster is an architect of America. Name pada hai Buckminster. And Fullerene that's have so many properties concerning your health sector, like antioxidant nature. They have to minimizing free radicals in our body. Free radicals in our body. Obviously, radicals sponge also be available in markets. Fuller version में आप देखेंगे तो available है markets में. To skin, keeps skin healthy, wrinkles free. That's all about. It also protect, we know, cell from UV rays. Cell protector, है ना? Against UV rays, we have to say that. It's also used in cosmetic. Also used in treatment of AIDS. And drug delivery system. Fullerene is also used in drug delivery system. It's a crucial work for, useful application of fullerene. Crucial application about fullerene. Diamond graphite, their structures we know hexagonal of graphite and tetrahedral of diamond. It's all about allotropes of carbon. And some nanomaterials we have to also study now, like nanowires, like nanoparticles, like nanotubes, like quantum dots. Up say something about, someone have to ask that what is the use of quantum dots. So which say about, it's also used in slimmer solar cell. It's also improve our display technology, है ना, quantum dots. And some experts say that the doctor have to illuminate light in your body and they have to find out cancerous cell, tumor, with the help of quantum dots, because it's have optical and electrical magnetic properties. Quantum dots have electrical and optical properties. It's all about quantum dots. Nanoporous, the size we know about approximate 1 to 100 nanometer, but nanoporous also used in separation, filtration of substance. That's are found by metals, ceramics, polymers. I have to say that. तो यूज उतना नहीं पूछा किससे बना है, लेकिन उनके यूज आपको याद रखना है, क्योंकि एप्लीकेशन इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. ओनली एप्लीकेशन. अब देखो सारे टर्म आई होप देखो टफ भी है, बट सारे टर्म आपके माइंड में क्या हो गया, सेट हो गया. इट्स ऑल अबाउट. यदि सेट ना हो तो फिर कोई मतलब नहीं बनता डियर पढ़ने का, है ना. सारे जो पॉइंट है वो धीरे धीरे क्या हो रहे हैं, सेट हो रहे हैं. और जब सेट हो जाएगा, जब टॉपिक हमारा कंप्लीट होगा, फिर हम लोग राइटिंग स्किल को, नैनोटेक से रिलेटेड जितने सारे क्वेश्चन है उस पर हम लोग लिखना शुरू करेंगे. कितना शब्दों में, कितना टाइम एफिशिएंसी, धीरे धीरे क्या होगा डियर, बूस्ट होगा. और नैनो साइंस में भी कितने सारे क्वेश्चन बनेंगे एज अ एमसीक्यू लेवल में, तो सारा ग्राफीन, फुलरेन, सीएनटी के एप्लीकेशन से क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होंगे, नो डाउट बन सकते हैं आपके. तो नेक्स्ट डे चर्चा किया जाएगा कुछ और इंपॉर्टेंट सेगमेंट, है ना. कुछ हम लोग बात करेंगे डियर अटेंशन ऑफ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इन इंडिया. कुछ इसके एडवांटेज, डिसएडवांटेज की भी चर्चा किया जाएगा बल्क कंटेंट के साथ, ताकि हमारे थॉट्स क्या हो और गेन हो. इज इट क्लियर फॉर ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट? मेंशन नाउ यस और नॉट, बिकॉज आपका और हमारे बीच जो कनेक्शन है वो ऑनलाइन का है. सो एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर नाउ कंसर्निंग ग्राफीन, कार्बन नैनो ट्यूब, बकमिंस्टर फुलरेन एंड डायमंड ग्रेफाइट. So Anishka have to say that yes. देखो रिकॉल सेशन बिल्कुल करते रहिए आप लोग, जब भी घर पे रहिए वी हैव टू रिकॉल, रिकैप. जब तक रिकॉल और रिकॉल करेंगे ना, इतना कंटेंट आपके पास हो जाएगा ना, चीजें याद हो जाएगा, फिर साइंस एंड टेक में अपने आप को आप प्रॉब्लम फील नहीं करोगे. लेकिन कोशिश करिए ना कि जितना बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्लास में हो, जितना हम समझ लें, जितना हमारे ब्रेन में सेट हो जाए, उस पर फोकस करिए आप लोग. राइटिंग स्किल तो आप खुद जनरेट करो, लिखना कैसे है, शब्दों का चयन कैसे करना है,